Dude, like, I know you always like want me to like prep and like buy guns and stuff, and I definitely didn't do that. But like, there looks like zombies and shit outside. You got like a gun I can borrow, bro? Did you say zombies, bro? Oh hell yeah, dude! I got a gun for you right here. Oh, you do, dude? Hell yeah! Oh, thanks. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Mid-Tier Thoughts. So if you're like me, you've probably got some families and friends who maybe have not taken that step to get fully prepared yet or get a firearm, whatever like that, and they're thinking in their head they're going to show up on your doorstep preparing to, whenever the zombies come, hopefully that you'll take care of them. Now, your opinion on that may be that you want to kick them out the door, whatever, you had your chance, or you may be more compassionate hearted and want to help them out. Either way, it doesn't always necessarily have to be a bad thing. Having extra people on hand to help out with stuff is always good and always nice, especially to pull security. With that, it could just be that, hey, maybe your buddy's over at your house. You got friends that all have ADCs, things like that. Things have gone south. Now a rifle is needed. He's not near his, doesn't have one. Are you ready? Are you prepared to help him out? So today we're going to talk a little bit about buddy kit. So kind of this idea of having a rifle and a quick set of gear that's maybe not necessarily your best stuff, maybe not necessarily your greatest stuff, but something that you can kind of give to a buddy to help him out through the scenario. Hopefully, while he's helping you out, but if it's something for him to get home, things like that can work out too. So with this, my philosophy when it comes to buddy kit is I never really set out on any of this stuff to specifically make this gear or rifles for other people. So for me, I'm married, so I've got gear for me and I've got gear for my wife, kind of purpose built to that. But if you're anything like me or any other guy who's been in the gun world and the gun space for a long time, you've got a box of gear from stuff you started with or you've collected or you've gathered over the years that you probably don't use, that maybe you go through it and you've got enough stuff to throw it in a nice little decent kit together that maybe is not your priority kit, it's not something you really intend on using, but like, hey, if you needed to arm the neighborhood, it's a great way to do it. So we're gonna go over a couple different quick ways of how to do that and some suggestions and options for stuff that we have to put together this buddy kit and really what should be in it. So let's start with what is probably the important part of the buddy kit, which is going to be the rifle. So with this, again, the concept was never initially to go out into this initially trying to put together a rifle for somebody else, but it is a rifle that I had that I thought would work great for this purpose. So this here, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen this before. This is just a cheap blower from Palmetto. This is actually one of the Bear Creek Arsenal uppers that I reviewed earlier, and I'm still working on like the full length review, trying to put 1,000 rounds through all these guys. So with this, I threw a 22 caliber CMG bolt conversion in here just because I wanted to use this as like a simple plinker rifle and kind of see how it handled with just running as like a purpose-built 22. But since I still have the main bolt, I'm gonna swap that out here in a minute. And I'm not monetized yet, so I can show you this on YouTube. If I do get monetized later, I'll probably have to edit that out, but who knows, maybe YouTube's rules will change. So, having gone from 22 with that bolt conversion from CMG, I'm now at a 5.56. So on here, I've got a Vortex Venom red dot. It's one of their pistol dots. It's on an American Defense Mount riser here. It's a little off-colored if you can see that. It's kind of purple and pink from a cosmic paint job I did on a 300 Blackout this used to live on. I haven't got around to painting this rifle yet, which will be done in the future. So we've got the A2 buttstock back here, and then for the light, we do have a nightstick. So nightstick, this light also as well is something I'm currently in the process of reviewing. I asked Nightstick if they'd be willing to send out one of these lights so I can review it and do a comparison between this Streamlight and Surefire, and we're gonna be having one of those videos coming out in the near future. But simple rifle here, so you've just got nothing, no frills, nothing to it. Again, this was originally designed as a 22 caliber training rifle that I've swapped the bolt back into 5.56. So it's simplistic. It doesn't necessarily need to be super crazy. I don't even actually have a sling on here yet. That's probably the only other thing I would add to it, and maybe backup irons for this. But with something like this, again, it's kind of a concept where this was never intended for somebody else's use, but it kind of fell into that role should someone show up at my house, right? So if someone were to pop in the door and be like, hey man, I was just down the street, car broke down, EMP hit, whatever the scenario is, for any reason, if I need to arm somebody else I'm not giving up my good stuff. This is probably what they're going to wind up getting, at least in the beginning. So it's got the necessary things that you need to have a functioning rifle. You've got obviously a way to see a way to hit your target, a way to see your target with the light, and preferably we'll add a sling on there in a little bit. But this is kind of something I put together with some of the extra pieces in the bin that I had, as far as, you know, the optic and the light and a few other things, just kind of extra stuff I had lying around, threw it together. One of those things, hey, I might have enough parts to put a gun together. So that was kind of the idea with this, with the buddy rifle. Again, nothing super crazy, and we'll have a video kind of like more on this gun itself later down the road. But with the gun's obviously not going to be just enough for your friend. They're going to need a way to carry ammunition and other necessary supplies. So with that, we're going to go to the next part. I'm a huge fan of bandoliers because they're nice, simple, and quick. So I kind of threw a quick little bandolier kit together with some extra pieces and things lying around. I'm going to show you what this is. So you'll see here this green canvas bandolier. If you've ever bought ammunition in 1,000-round boxes of the 5.56 that comes on stripper clips, they usually have these inside of them, and they'll generally have the small 30-round boxes with 10 rounds. They're 10-round stripper clips, 3 in a box, 30-round boxes in here. And generally, right about here, they have a white line across them. It's a thin thread that if you cut, normally as it sits, it'll hold 20-round mags in those 20-round boxes, but if you cut it, you can fit 30-rounders in here. And you can fit 4 of them. Now you can actually fit 8 because you can squeeze 2 of them in here tight. You just can't get the top part back over it. And they do fit really tight. You can fit up to 8 magazines in here. So right now I have it just with 4, and then I have one of my cheaper Gerber pocket knives on here. I think this is like their parachutist or something like that. It's one of their really lightweight knives. I have that on here as well. It's just kind of hanging out off the second mag pouch. So the idea behind this was kind of something to where it's like, okay, let's say we've got the buddy rifle, we're gonna have a mag in the gun. I'd like my buddy to have a couple extra mags with him. Maybe he doesn't have his kit with him, whatever. Maybe I don't, I have my personal kit. Maybe I don't have the money invested to have a secondary kit. Or I don't want to sacrifice my wife's kit for my buddy, things like that, right? Well, you can take this and just simply throw it over your shoulder. All of a sudden, you've got 4 magazines, right? This is also kind of a great concept to have as just something for like a reload or something you can throw in your pack, or in some kind of resupply that you have for yourself, to where you've got 4 mags on tap that you can just throw back on over you if you do run out of ammo. This thing is nice and easy where it folds up nice and small. You can kind of double it up over on itself like this. Folds up nice and tight. Wrap it up. Takes up 0 space. You throw that in your garage, in your truck, in your car, whatever. Works as like a good emergency kit for yourself, as well as something you can throw in a pack, or like I said, that kit for your buddy, to where you just pull that all apart. Boom, you got 4 mags and a pocket knife. The other thing I would add to that as well is I've got a bunch of tourniquets. Depending on what your medical budget is, I think you should definitely have more than you need. You should have at least 1 for every limb of every person in your family, preferably more. So with this, I've got an extra tourniquet. I don't necessarily have a way to put it on here without shoving it into another one of the mag pouches, which you could. Maybe throw this in a pocket, or even just throw some rubber bands. I was thinking about taking some rubber bands and rubber banding it to here, to where you can just pull it off real quick, kind of have it easily accessed. The other thing too then is radios. So I have a Baofeng myself. I have one for me and one for my wife. I don't have any more than that. I probably should pick some up because they're dirt cheap on Amazon. But I do have a couple walkie-talkies that if we're going to be in close proximity to each other, these might suffice. So with these, if we're working together in a tight area and I don't have to worry about distance really that much, since my buddy is at my house, I can throw that on here. It kind of retains it pretty well. It holds onto it. And then I'll probably throw in one of my extra multi-tools that I have, and he can have this in his pocket or something in case he needs a pocket knife or something else like that to keep his work rifle up. So with that, again, not a whole lot of extra stuff. It's basically a bare essentials, to where the bare minimum of medical is just the tourniquet. I would ideally, if I had like a pocket bleeder kit, a spare one lying around, give him one of those, or even a full-on IFAK, depending on how many you have. Again, this is the whole concept, is not pulling from my own gear to give to somebody else, but kind of extra stuff I have lying around the house, throwing together in like an oh crap emergency situation. So the other thing too is the venerable fanny pack. You can fit a couple mags in here, or you could also use this as a backup IFAK pouch for a buddy, or like I said, you could throw 1 or 2, actually I think I could fit up to about like 3 AR mags in here, And then, you know, he can strap the radio on. He could wear it like one of those man purses you see all these soy boy dudes running around with, where you have it up here like this. And he can have that accessible as well. So there's two options there real quick. The fanny pack is my least favorite, but I've definitely seen it run and I've experimented with it a little bit and it works. This bandolier thing I think is a great idea, not only just for the buddy kit, but for like quick resupplies, things like that. But if you're like me as well and you kind of enjoy surplus stuff and you've gone through the cycle of different guns and gun ownership, things like that, I used to own an SKS. With that, I wanted to get the kit for it, the SKS chest rig. So these, most gun guys I know have or have had SKS chest rigs in the past. So these things you can get on Amazon for well under 20 bucks, like 10 or $12. I have a retro AR where it's a Colt SP01. It's the one I've painted to be a rough tiger stripe, and rough is a relative word there. So you can see that in some of my other videos, probably floating around up here somewhere. But with that, I tried to run the 20 round mags for a while. After that, I swapped my 20 round mags over to my 300, so that way I can kind of differentiate where the ammo goes, right? So these are all 300 Blackout magazines. They're just 5.56 20 round GI mags that I've marked 300 Blackout on. They work really well for that. But this thing holds these really well. So if you have 20 round magazines, or you want to get 20 round magazines for the aesthetic because they look super sick, these things hold really well in here with a little modification. That modification mainly being that you have to put a little bit of foam in the bottom, just a little bit of foam, to kind of keep them from sinking all the way down. Otherwise, they do become kind of hard to get back out. You kind of got to push from the bottom to pull them out, or do some Ranger tabs where you just wrap some cord around the magazine so you can pull it out with your finger. This will fit 30 rounders though, but you will need some modification to it. So I'll show you real quick what that looks like. Take out a 20 rounder. I've got a 30 round Lancer mag right here. So we take one of these, slap that guy in there like that. So it will hold it, and it will hold a bunch of them. The issue is that it doesn't hold them super securely as far as like falling out if you're running or gunning, something like that. You can, however, though, I mean, it holds them pretty snug, especially if you have a bunch of them. But if you were to just take a little bit of cord from this top tab and tie it off to the wooden toggle down here, you could definitely do like some retention cord and make yourself a pretty nice little Rhodesian rig or something like that, because you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots. So you could hold 10 magazines on this pretty easily, or split it up between like tourniquet, radio, maybe some extra goodies, and then a couple magazines. So you could turn an SKS rig into a good kit fairly easily with a slight amount of modification, to where this could work well for you, or this could work well as like a backup kit or a buddy kit for a friend. So quick video today, kind of doing a quick rundown again of the idea of buddy kit. Go ahead and throw in the comments, like, share, subscribe, that whole deal. But I want to hear from you guys, like what ideas you've had for around this. I know some people have Holt rifles set up as buddy rifles with extra backup kit, as if they're going to arm like the whole neighborhood. Some people are doing have the approach of like, nope, screw you, dude. You messed up. This is my house. Go away. You had your chance. So I'm curious to see where you guys stand on this. Curious to see what you guys have. Hit me up on Instagram as well. Tag me and stuff, because I want to see your guys' buddy rifles, buddy kit, things like that. See what your thoughts are on it. And we will catch you on the next one. Peace.